All right, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new episode of Busta On Da Weekend here. I am your host, MC Buster, and this here is my co-host slash best friend here, Nilja. All right, so as we get ready to get into this episode today, we're gonna start with thought of the day, and this here is a verse from Romans 3:23-24, and it says, "For all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God, and are justified by His grace as a gift through the redemption that is in Christ Jesus." Amen. All right,
Amen.
we are on our 11th episode today. For the first topic that we are going to get into, I call this one "Hurt by Hurt," and I want to bring up, since post All-Star break, it has been exaggerating amount of seven players that have been, and at least about four of them is out of this. Is pretty much their status is out of the season, out for the rest of the season. Like Embiid, Victor Wembanyama, playing subs for Orlando Magic, and now recently Kyrie Irving. But I
And
want to
Anthony
talk
Davis.
about AD too. They saying that for him, they possibly just gonna see him off for the rest of the season. But I want to talk about Victor Wembanyama. Pretty much for the Spurs is a big blow. To see their rising star, suffering an injury that gonna sideline him for the rest of the season, and being able to make an appearance in the All Star game as he is now on his second season. So with him being out and everything, I want to ask you, is there a chance that with the addition of De'Aaron Fox and Chris Paul still being active on the lineup, or do you think that there's still a spark there for them to be able to improve themselves into the playing tournament? Is there still some hope alive, or is there always another season?
I think there's always another season. We'll be honest, because Wembanyama impact on the court, it levitated the Spurs in a way where they have a defensive big and a guy who can move the ball just as much as he can score and block and rebound. It takes a lot to have De'Aaron Fox out there. He only proved that he could be a winner whenever, it seems worthwhile having someone around.
Right. But I say that.
But
Oh,
are you
sorry. I'm
good?
sorry. I'm sorry. I was saying, with De'Aaron Fox, pretty much approaching his prime and everything, scoring over 20 plus a game, with the win they got against, I believe the last win they had was against Memphis in a close game, and I believe as of right now they are sitting in the 11th spot of the Western Conference, and now with the Trailblazers getting a win streak going for themselves. I think that there's some hope there, that they might be able to make it, but they still have the Warriors and the Timberwolves to think about too.
Minnesota has been a team that struggled to keep momentum like they did compared to last season, and the Spurs are in the midst of coming off of a losing season, and they got De'Aaron Fox, Chris Paul, a young core with Chris Paul basically leading the whole team. I think it's questionable to say who would really win because both teams are at odds right now. Minnesota, they're definitely the team to pick when it comes to something like that, I feel.
Yep. I agree, and now they are out of the AC, because like the last week before this week started, that was in the AC, and now with a few losses, they are pretty much into the play-in spot. Because they had a rough start into the season, even though they have a little more wins than they do with losses, sitting at 32. But being things on the night, which had boosted more to 33.
Right. I was going to say about that question, I was going to question that part about the seeding position and how the way it's looking over there in the West compared for the teams like, OKC, all the way down to possibly Portland, as it being a playoff contentious for, the teams that you mentioned, Minnesota and both the Spurs. I can't grasp the concept of how it's going to be shifted due to some of the things that's going on with the Spurs per se. How the way they change up their roster and their core versus how the way, you know, Minnesota play on any given night. And they're, like I said, they've been questionable.
You right, they have been they have been questionable because especially with the trade, you know, with losing Cat and everything. Now that, you know, oh sorry, I was saying the Minnesota, you know, since trading Cat, I still grade that trade a C plus, you know, at best. You know, because Julius Randle pretty much not being the facilitator and everything, but you know, I see that some things are, you know, pretty much still coming along with the team. You know, even though that they have like a whole another month and a couple of weeks to figure things out before the play-in tournament. You got 7, I believe, the Minnesota looking at it right now. It said that they now in the 7th seed. I was saying that the teams from the 7th to the 12th seed, you know, got no time to figure things out before the play-in tournament. And now with Trailblazers coming along, going on a winning streak of their own, do you think that they also have a chance to be in the spot?
I think as far as seeing a lot of the teams that are playing right now out there in the Western Conference from the 7th to 12th, as I mentioned earlier, you got you basically got the Timberwolves who have been questionable. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then when you mentioned about the Spurs being able to take that chance and stay within that range, I think that is really a gimmick to put them into play. Anything from 7 to 12, Timberwolves, Kings, Clippers, Mavericks, Suns, Trailblazers. Trailblazers been, you know, running the game wild right now as in playing. And then you got the Suns who lose when they have key games to play against better teams, a 500 team. Then you
Right.
got the Mavericks who have been significantly hurt and having key players in and out. You can't depend on just Derek Lively, Spencer Dinwiddie, etc. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Also, the Clippers, you know what I mean? They've been on and off. They play good ball, but they got their pick and chooses too. It's been a suspicious season. The Kings, they started rough at the beginning of the season, but you see they turned it around and it became wrecking havoc on other teams. I'm not gonna say wrecking havoc. They won some pretty decent games, you know.
Right.
But in terms, like I said, the Timberwolves, they are still questionable on the nights that they are given a chance to win. So from your 7 through 12, it could be I can't say that how the play-in tournament is going to turn out, but more than likely, those teams that sit through that 7 and 10, it can end up changing, and I don't want to give too much of my opinion on it. I even think, even from if a team possibly from that 7 through 12 go on a good run, and if they can go on a tremendous winning streak and anybody above that 7 seed, they're in danger too of getting their spot taken by any one of these. Who's to say that Portland, if they go on another run like when they went 9-1, what, for the month of January? Was it January? Or basically they went on a good run and, you know, that was questioned because they were like below the 25% winning cap. You know, what I take away from it is any team can pretty much come from it. The West looking dangerous, you know what I mean? Versus the East.
The West right now, just about every team from the 1st to 12 through 12th, man, got about 25 plus wins. You know, like you said, they are fighting for sure. But out of the question that I asked of the teams I talked about from the 7th through the 12th seed, what teams do you feel that have the most to prove about the last? I mean, I'm sorry. Let me ask that again. What team do you think have the most to prove out of the West for 7 to 12 seed when it comes to try to fight for the spot?
You said the better team that has the chance to fight for a spot.
Yeah, who you think has the most to prove?
Who has the most to prove out of that 7 through 12 is either the Timberwolves or the Suns. No diss to the Kings, Clippers, Mavs, or Portland. But right now, how the way their roster looking, everybody's kind of overlooking, you know, Zach LaVine, the DeMar DeRozan, Sabonis, all on the Kings. Everybody is overlooking the hurt Mavs. Like I mentioned, Spencer Dinwiddie, Lively, etc. You got some good talent on it. But Trailblazers got a young core still, so nobody would too much expect anything. And then they got Chauncey Billups still at, you know, coach. So you got either the King, the Timberwolves or the Suns. The Suns still got KD. and Devin Booker, who might miss a chance to actually play in the playoffs. Bradley Beal, but I don't know what the fuck happened.
Yeah, I mean, Bradley Beal's still playing. He's on the bench. He's on the bench right now. They had benched him since January. Even though that contract here is still ridiculous. That man, the last game that I know that he played was against the Timberwolves, and then after that was going for alley-oop, this nigga had pushed the man trying to hurt him, and then they said that it was a flagrant one. In my opinion, it was a flagrant two. I'm not sure you seen on the highlight. So, all right, so same question that I asked for who had the most to prove. What team do you think it's the same way? It's the same.
In the East, you said who got the most to prove, 7 through 12?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be honest, and I ain't gonna lie to you. Nobody ain't blindsided by the expectations of any of those teams at the bottom of the list. Because you got the Heat, Magic, Hawks, Bulls, Nets. Let's be real. A lot of those are losing teams right now. All those are losing teams right now.
Oh yeah.
Anything above that, like when you ask that question, you can't expect nothing of a losing team. I mean, contradicted to what I said, but I feel like the West has more to prove, and that is the better outcome. That's what I meant earlier, that it's a little different for the West right now than it is the East. Because you actually have some teams that are in their likelihood of winning. Any night can play, because you don't expect nothing of the 76ers. Even when they had Joel Embiid, they were still losing on his healthy time. The Nets, they were still questionable, you know what I mean? Whatever with them. The Bulls, since that trade, the Hawks, they should got Trey gone. They should have got him out of there. The Magic, you know, they got some key pieces. They need some more work, and they have a chance, but I don't expect nothing of them. And then the Heat, the Heat basically, I feel like they fucked themselves over, because Golden State is looking good.
Oh yeah. No, you ain't. All right, but we're gonna next topic that we're gonna get into. Speaking of the Heat and Golden State trade, this is gonna be about the Golden State Warriors and Lakers, with them getting the two big stars, in Jimmy Butler going to Golden State. And then Luka going to Golden State now 9-1 since getting Jimmy Butler, and then the Lakers are nearly 10 wins and 2 losses since getting Luka. How do you feel that both teams are playing as of right now?
I think the Lakers got a lot of firepower, and then Golden State got a lot of Jimmy Butler picking up on other offensive players when he plays. Been seeing a lot of that lately. I think it's a good thing for both Curry to have Butler and Luka to have Bron. You know, it's kind of complimentary, and I see that the Lakers also had Jackson Hayes putting in more time to become a better defender, and JJ Redick got there actually being a coach and making some calls, not just the players, running over actual coaches. So Golden State, they're doing their thing too. They're able to play in and out. So I think that's a good thing what they did.
But I say for the Lakers, it will be a point in time that despite LeBron, still putting up the numbers that he is, I think that the next season, they're gonna give more of the keys to Luka, since Luka is approaching always in his prime. Since the first game, he has been playing slow, but now it's like he's getting back to that most, because like being traded from a franchise that who pretty much betrayed him, to be honest, because for a player like his caliber, he I can tell that he really wanted to stay though with them, but they did Nico Harrison, fuck him for that, respectfully, but he's coming along for sure, like I said, that by the next season, the chances that they're gonna give him the keys, to be the star player that they deserve, and let LeBron be the second option.
I think that was the right move to make in terms of that, though, because AD was a liability, and I mean Luka is just as much, but defensively, I think it's a bit of a turn. If you can make up for it, then that's okay. I really can't grade it for the Lakers because that would be way too opinionated. I think it's like a good chance that they can move forward with Luka, because he's He seemed like he can adapt to any franchise because of his playing style. He can help the team orchestrate plays offensively and do good with the offensive side. But the thing defensively, it's always been questionable still. With the Maverick, I don't think I like that trade on their side, really, in terms of that, regardless of how the way they felt about that. It's more like Luka did better getting out of there if he felt it was unreliable in some categories they did from what I just named, like defense, weight wise. I like to see the Lakers continue to build around Luka if they can and actually get him somebody that could train him on the defensive side. Then with LeBron either going out or playing with another year with Luka, that's a good chance. But I don't think that they got the whole team on board as far as championship. That's my take.
Right.
I like that.
Yeah, for so far as on the championship thing, like you said, the defense got definitely is going to be one of the key things that Luka has to improve on if he want to get far in the postseason. But it's a good thing that he did last year. But the question is, can he do it again on this year? But this time, being able to elevate a little more better on the other side of the court.
Yeah, I think though things like that, like being mindful of how these players get into the key points of their career or the elevation of their career and being able to do what they do, is solely based off how the way the franchise view them and prioritize them. If that makes sense.
Right.
I think it's pretty good for Luka to be able to move on regardless whether if he's there or not. And AD is doing what he does and he can play good ball and not get hurt, then that's good for him. At the same time, though, him being hurt is what actually messed up his career.
Right.
Again, it's kind of like the same thing with Embiid. People question your reliability, but I mean, Luka shows up regardless of what they said about him.
Right. I mean, like I said, but he got them far last year, and for Nico to just say fuck it, man, we're gonna go ahead and ship him off, man. It's some things that I don't like that he's doing some things, but he got y'all far last year. Because of those certain flaws, you gonna sit this man off like that. Now I wouldn't be surprised if they go back to Dallas and he's just gonna drop 40 or 50 on their ass because he dropped 73 points. The same person that they said that who was vaping and drinking beers, he dropped 70. Give him out like season before he dropped 73.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man, that unexpected.
Oh yeah,
I don't know comment because it's not up to me. Like I said, I'm trying to really shy away from being opinionated after not seeing,
So it
is what it is.
Yep. I'm hoping that the Mavericks continue. With Kyrie is now is out with that ACL. I feel like that they definitely are going to suffer for the rest of this season. They got a good winning record, but they down to the 10th seed now, 30, which is playing potential. They might not make it this season. They might not make it to the postseason. I'm not sure, but they do. It'll be a surprise. When one of your best players is out, and then the team is still healing from the trade, that shocking trade like that. They definitely gonna be suffering.
I'm starting to think that team started to go down. Without Luka after Mark Cuban got rid of his fair share of got rid of his percentage of share, and he has been kind of quiet and relaxed about something because people don't understand what's at stake. So I'm looking like I don't think that's the right thing to do. I didn't like that happened. I instantly Googled why didn't Mark Cuban say anything about that trade, and I don't think it had nothing to do with the win or loss column. I think it was all personal within the front office. They just felt like they could get over him as a player. That's what I took from.
Right. Mark Cuban, man, he had some, a couple times said that he definitely sees Luka as the next franchise guy since Dirk. And I'm guessing that he's still pretty shocked about it. That's why that he probably hasn't came up to me about his thoughts on.
Right. That's not all the segment we got. I kind of got to.
All right. Speaking of the Lakers, last night against the Pelicans, LeBron had reached 50,000 points for in total in both regular season and postseason points together. The fact that he did reach 40,000 on last year in regular season points, I think it's still a crazy milestone to achieve, even though that he lost to Denver again. But for 50,000, I gotta give my hats off to him for that, because he did capitalize on the win on that. What do you think about somebody like him who has played 22 years of his career, within the NBA? Even though that people saying that that he passed Jordan, Kobe in all-time scoring. What's your opinions about him? Being able to still get that engine, keep that engine running past 20 years.
I say to that is a monumentous thing, and nobody else in that category. To be able to reach certain milestones like that no one else is touching, that is something that can put him still in the greatest of all time debate. And he keeps on making a stat seem like it's unnoticeable or that it's not meant to be there. You know what I mean? Who really think of this type of shit, like, or even, care? Kind of like how we had KD to have a 50-40-90s? No, a 50-40, what was it? No, my fault. That's Steph Curry, a 50-40-90 season. Who think of these type of statistics and shit when all the different type of statistics in basketball, different type of feats that work in the players' favor? You know what I mean? Percentage, field goals taken, and all these different stats, like the common stuff. Who's really paying attention to 50,000 points totally in a career, both playoffs and season? That's a cool thing to know, you know what I mean? And it separates him from a lot of other people. You know what I mean? This has probably been a thing that's been talked about since the early 2000s, when the trackers became better to, keep up with certain, when blocks actually back in the 70s, I think, started getting recorded. Because with Chamberlain, he probably have a lot of blocks that we don't know about, if that makes sense. But I mean,
right.
I'm just saying some of the things that we tend to not think about, that's one of the good feats. That make him a great. You know what I'm saying? That sound cool. How many field goals take? How many free throws? You know what I mean? Shots probably. But yeah, that's a good feat. I'm trying to be subliminal on that though.
I do understand what you're saying though, especially about that it's hard to keep up with those stats back in the 60s and 70s, because like if you go on Basketball Reference, and look and go back to like I can say Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, to all the way up to his last season in the NBA in the late 80s. It's some stats that's there that hasn't been recorded or put down, like stats from the 60s and 70s, like with Wilt Chamberlain and everything. James Worthy and them.
Right,
it's crazy. Oh yeah. Just like with that 100-point game that Wilt Chamberlain had achieved. People saying that it might be fake. I'm not saying that it might be fake, because like we know it was there. We was pretty much sperm.
There's an 82-point game. There's an 82-point game against the Toronto Raptors out there. 81-point game against the Toronto Raptors out there.
That's Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
Oh, that has been recorded. You said, you saw Dame when he did 71.
Yeah, and you got Devin Booker, who scored 70 plus. So I'm going to say, like, scoring and being a scorer and being known to score, they shouldn't be able to count that type of person out. That goes along with LeBron. They forget that LeBron could turn up if he choose to back in the days. You know what I'm saying? But I think if he was really the type of guy who was really overall take over the game like he used to during the playoffs with the Cavaliers from 2016 up to 2018? 2015 to 18. Yeah. That would have been the LeBron that we needed his whole career. But, he take a back seat sometimes to let people touch the ball. Don't forget that, though.
Yeah, you see, like, you're right, though, especially like since joining on the Lakers. But in the postseason, like I said, it's a whole different thing. especially the 2018 time that he was especially when he swept Toronto. You know,
Right.
he practically carried that whole team by himself. You know, they like I said, like I told some other people before, like I wouldn't be surprised if they would have lost to any young back in team because like they really didn't have nobody on the team besides LeBron and then Kevin Love being the All-Star. J.R. Smith and Tristan Thompson don't two suckers be lacking. Stanley Fryer, we had Rodney Hood, Jordan Clarkson. Um, that's about it.
Right.
But all right, that's all the time that we have for this episode right here. This has been Busta on the Weekend here. I am your host, MC Buster, and this is my co-host Nigel. You have Instagram, follow me at mbuster98, and follow my dog right here at Nigel Gray here. And hey, if you are new to the channel and just now recently seeing this new video, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and spread the word if you are enjoying this episode right here and other episode that I recently uploaded. Tune in every Saturday Saturday or Sunday evenings. Let's do it again. Peace, everybody.
All right.
All right.